everyone, and welcome to Raw and Real with Shikha. This is a space where we go beyond headlines and titles to have honest conversations with people shaping industries and creating real impact. Today's conversation is especially exciting because we are talking about something that's growing rapidly here in UAE, esports. But it isn't just about gaming. It's about education, career, leadership, wellness, and building opportunities for the next generation. Joining me in the studios, Mujtaba Suliman, E-Sports Program Lead at the University of Wollongong in Dubai. Mujtaba, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Before we start, I want to know, becoming an E-Sports Program Lead, who was Mujtaba Suliman? What sparked your journey into gaming?
So I've been a gamer all my life. I think around 2017, I've taken interest in motorsport and racing. Gran Turismo came out at the time, a new title, a new installment in the series. I was competing in that, playing online. In 2020, I got a chance to compete at the national level. And then from there, that's where basically my passion for esports came in. Mm-hmm. I started following a lot of tournaments, following the professional scene, not just within Gran Turismo or motorsports in general, but the general scene, whether it's FPS, MOBAs, or other titles as well. So for me, coming into my role that I'm currently in, I was already really passionate, having some kind of background within esports, and growing with the role that I'm in right now, I'm learning every day.
Mm-hmm. So was there a defining moment when you realized that esports could become something much bigger than just playing games, like as a hobby?
I think for me, the point was where I started comparing it to traditional sports. I started seeing a lot of similarities, maybe not in the physical aspect, but through every other aspect as well. The mental, cognitive ability, the focus, the dedication, and the work it takes to get to the highest level. I saw almost no difference, and that's where I kind of figured out that esports can and will become as big as the largest traditional sports we have today.
People often see gaming as a hobby, Mujtaba. What convinced you that it could become a serious career pathway?
I think, like I mentioned, the amount of work that it takes to get to that level, the best esports athletes, the amount of work that they do behind the scenes, the amount of revenue they generate, even on a business level, is incomprehensible and is competing hand in hand with traditional sports. So I think that for me kind of was a sure moment that esports can compete and a career in esports is very viable.
That's great. I mean, how do you see that UAE's esports ecosystem evolving over the last few years?
I think there is room for improvement, mm-hmm. Definitely. The future is promising. There are a lot of projects, either governmental projects or privately owned projects that are kicking off that are very exciting. Namely, a close partner we work with is Pixel Perfect. They run a collegiate league. We've been with them for 3 seasons now, and it's expanding every season. Uh-huh. So the last season we competed with, we had 51 universities, not just from the UAE, but from the entire GCC region.
51.
51. That's so we're talking Saudi Arabia, we're talking Oman, Bahrain, Jordan. So the MENA region is coming together to compete. Collegiate esports is kicking off and becoming one of the main interests and kind of competing with traditional collegiate sports. So for us, we feel that there is still more to be done, not just at the collegiate level, but at the high school and kind of middle school level as well.
So when you said 51 university, that's a huge number. But where do you believe that the biggest opportunity will be existing?
I think if we are able to kind of create a bridge into professional academies and professional teams, then that's when we'll see basically the real return on investment. The talent is there. It's about how to shape this talent, how to nurture it, how to grow it, and sort of give them not just the skills in game, but the transferable skills so that they can take that into a pro career in esports.
100%. What one thing which I feel is still missing is stronger in university competition. Do you think that inter-university leagues could be like more emphasized, or we can do that often?
I think definitely the interest is huge. Like I mentioned, whenever we manage our team at University of Wollongong, the amount of people who sign up for tryouts is amazing. It's tremendous. Like I said, it is competing with traditional sports. We're talking about more than 100 applicants per semester to join our rosters. And looking at such a number and having to pick only 6 or 10 or 15, it just shows the kind of level of competition, even at the collegiate level, in one university. So when you come and expand that to all of the universities in the UAE, and like I mentioned, if it expands to high schools as well, so you can see the size of just esports within academic facilities and how much is growing.
So do you think that this should be taken as a developing future talent with the universities?
100%. And I think the biggest message here is that esports is not just about the players. It's about coaches, it's about analysts, it's about psychologists.
100%.
It's about people in media, people in marketing, in events management, etc. So there's so many job opportunities in esports outside of just being a player or just performing on the stage. So if you're passionate about esports, you don't have to be really, really good at a certain game or a certain title. You can take up a role within that industry elsewhere where it suits your passion in photography or videography or content creation. So it lives hand in hand with everything else.
Okay, that means there is a career aspects in every area where
100%.
esports
100%.
is concerned. So on that note, Mujtaba, I want to ask you that one conversation which is like increasing drastically right now, it's the important role of women in gaming. How do you think that in esports, how does that matter? And how do you see that changing in our region? What do you think about that?
I think women in esports is growing simultaneously with the industry. The competition is very high. Women are almost competing at the same level as men in esports. You take away the physical aspect of it, and what you find is really talented women who can compete at the highest level. A lot of game titles already have an established scene for women's esports. If we look at Valorant, if we look at Mobile Legends, these are titles where females and women are as much or as big as rock stars as their male counterparts. The talent is there always. I think interest in gaming in general is increasing, I would assume, among women. Over the last few years. It's becoming more accessible. So with that, the competition is rising. At COWD, we kind of follow the professional scene where we have an all women's team, we have an all women's Valorant team, we have an all women's Mobile Legends team. This is kind of giving the platform for women to compete. Even, for women who feel a little bit shy, kind of having a women-only roster kind of helps with that as well. And so slowly you build up that confidence, and before you know it, the girls are playing on stage. They're engaging with the crowd as much as the male counterparts are. So I believe there is a lot of future in it, and it's not something just to tick off a box, right? It's a lot more than that. There is again, if we're looking from a business perspective, there is a lot of revenue in it. There's a lot of opportunities for women in esports. And I keep repeating, it's not just about the players, right? It's about media, it's about marketing, it's about events management, it's logistics, etc. So the opportunities are vast. They're there. The talent is there. The passion, most importantly, is there. And this is what, honestly, took me a little bit by surprise when I joined the university, to be completely honest. I knew it was there just from past experiences. I didn't know it was that big. And so to see this much passion, I'm putting as much effort with the women's rosters as much as I'm doing with the boys.
Yes.
So it's incredible, honestly, just to see these women who are not only just talented, but confident enough, bold enough to come and compete in tournaments, to go through practice, to put the dedication and time all the way to perform in stage with such confidence. It's absolutely incredible, honestly.
So do you think like role model like Madiha Naz, who is the UAE's first esports game player, so that helps for these women industry?
I think it's definitely an inspiration. If I can give one example, we used to play in a collegiate tournament back in October of 2025. Within this tournament, we played against a university from Saudi Arabia called Princess Noor University. One of the players was a girl that goes by the name of Madvi. She plays for Falcons as a professional player. So the moment that the girls heard that we are even in the same tournament as a girl like Madvi, it was such a confidence boost. They were so excited to see such a player of that level compete as the same tournament as us. So I think someone like Madvi inspired girls from a university in a different country. So we can only imagine the impact that Madiha would have on girls in the UAE.
Definitely, definitely. So many young players dream of becoming one professional, but very few understand it actually. So what do you think? Where are we lacking? Does wellness is really important in this segment? Or like how do you think a gamer should be? Who always plays all night long and do not take care of the health? What do you think about that?
I think it's about consistency, and most importantly, if you don't take care of that side of your performance, it might not affect you now, but I can assure you, you won't have a long career.
Okay.
And when I look at titles that have been around for a long time, if I look at Call of Duty, if I look at Counter-Strike, some athletes have been playing for 8+ years in Call of Duty. Some athletes have been playing for 20+ years in Counter-Strike. Right? So how do you maintain that level of performance in playing in tier 1 esports for 20 years? You don't do that by neglecting your sleep, neglecting your health, etc. You might still be talented, you might still be amazing at the game that you're competing in, but you won't have a long career. And this is what we fail to understand. We think a lot kind of in the short term that fine, I'm neglecting my sleep, I'm neglecting my health, and I'm still performing well, so therefore it doesn't matter. But it's a completely different aspect that comes into it, is how long can you keep this up before it catches up to you and you kind of pay the bill in a sense towards your health. You're more likely to burn out. You're more likely, we call the term tilting, like getting frustrated within a game. And this will reflect especially in team esports, where it's not only your responsibility, but you're carrying a responsibility towards yourself and your teammates as well. So looking at your health and your focus and what kind of gives you an edge in performance is going to help you not only perform in the short term, but in the long term as well.
So on that note, Mujtaba, what separates a competitive esports or the athletes?
It's a lot of things, really. It's the dedication, it's the discipline, the consistency. We always say it's not the intensity of motivation, it's the longevity of motivation.
Right.
How long can you be motivated to come in every day, put in the work, and try to get better, right? It's being humble, not being too arrogant to learn. There's always a point where you can improve on whatever title that you can compete in. If we look at any FPS game, you can always improve your utility. You can always improve your aim. You can always improve your communication. There's always something to be learned, and you never reach a stage where you know the entire game and there is no new strategy or no new method in doing things. So that comes in hand in hand with the wellness side of it, and how these athletes are now being taken care of by their organizations. I remember I saw a documentary about a football team and how they are managing their under 16 players. So we're talking about 15 or 14-year-old players.
Yes.
And they've been assigned a psychologist that sits with them every week individually.
Wow.
And just ask them basic questions. Is everything okay at home? How are your studies?
Yes.
Right? Are you up to date with your academics? How are your friends, etc.? And simple check-ins like this to a psychologist means a lot, because if a player has something going on in their personal life, that's also going to affect their performance.
Definitely.
And so at the tier 1 level, you can't let something like that affect you. You need to keep everything in check. And it's not easy. Right? Another aspect is basically the sacrifice. And people are not going to like this answer, but it's the sacrifice that you have to put in order to get to that level.
I think for everything you have to sacrifice some or the other way. But when you said that psychology part, I think that's where we do a counseling with the student, and and then that's how you take it further. But how do you think that parents see this today's world? This e-gaming is still a hobby, or parents are liking it? How do you support that?
I think my sample size is my students, and what I see is a growing rate in terms of like parents who are actually in support of their son or daughter competing. We've seen this many times. We have players where their father or their mother comes to the games and watches with us, etc. So they're always keeping up. The support is rising. People are understanding that at the end of the day, it's better for their son or daughter to at the very least, to be competing with a team, learning communication skills, teamwork, etc., rather than them spending this time playing alone. And so that's from that side comes parents who are happy for their son or daughter to be competing and supporting them if they wish to take that as a career.
So Mujtaba, one challenge we often hear about esports from the talented players is finding the sponsorship and for the long-term support. Why do you think that that's still difficult today?
I think part of being a player is understanding that you have to build a brand. It's not just your performance, but getting recognized and how to basically make your performance known, right? We've had players who struggled with this, and my advice to them was always asking them, did you start an Instagram page, where you basically upload content?
Right.
Do you send your highlights, for example, to teams, etc.? Do you network with other players who might be connected to teams? And the answer has been most of the time no, where they just expect that their performance is going to get them a seat or a sponsorship. But for sponsors and brands, it's your exposure, and your performance will bring in the viewership, but also your character brings in the viewership. Right?
True that.
When we look at the top teams, you see the popular players are the ones who are maybe charismatic, right, or have that kind of character. They have confidence on camera, in interviews, etc. So that aspect is very important, and it's one that we work with, and we work on as well at University of Wollongong, where we look at our players, and some of them are camera confident, and some of them are camera shy.
Yeah.
So slowly we try to build that confidence up, because some of the players are very, very talented, but you want to call him for an interview to talk about the match that he did so well in, but he just can't find the words and the kind of confidence to answer clearly. So it's something that we work on, and it's very important in their careers.
Yes.
Not just in esports again, but they're going to go after university, and they're going to be subjected to that sort of thing, to media, to press, interviews, footage. We go to a lot more matches right now that are live streamed. Right? The boys are playing, and there is a camera right on top of their monitor looking at them the whole time.
Yes.
So you have to be confident and be comfortable in these situations, along with your performance in game, if you want to secure, a sponsorship or a deal with any of the top teams.
I think, definitely when a boss like you is there, a professor like you is there, so they will learn this by the time.
I hope.
And yes, this is very important, which you mentioned, that because it's always out of sight, out of mind, and if they will not show themselves, how their career will be. So this is an important part
100%.
To get them a sponsorship. How does college support in this, like to get the sponsorship or something? Are you getting in touch with institute or talking to people?
So we are always talking to brands. Whenever we go to an event outside the university, my main target is to look for brands, for companies, for representatives of different brands, of different teams. My job when I go to an event is not to play. I'm not the player. The players, they'll handle the gameplay side of things. My role is to kind of connect and show people what we bring to the table.
True.
And try to see if there's anything that could interest us, right? And this comes in many different aspects. People always assume that when you look at brands in gaming, it's only tech side of things, but there's so much more. Right? Like you mentioned, we talked about the psychology and the wellness part of it.
Yes.
So there are companies, Ascend is one of them, that kind of specializes in that field. We're looking at performance coaching. We're looking at media as well. So brands and companies in general, we always try to look for opportunities with them, because it's a win-win situation for both, especially when we talk about the footfall at the university, and that link to esports. We're talking about almost 6,000 students at University of Wollongong. So there's always an opportunity for them to kind of do some branding, engage with students. And for us, it's the benefit that our esports players, or any student really that is interested in esports, gets that exposure, gets to talk to representatives from so-and-so brand, and who knows, it might take it forward from there.
100%, that's true. Moving on to the next question, from your perspective, why partnership between universities and organizations like Ascend, how you mentioned Ascend Esports, is important?
It is crucial, because as a university, the honest truth is our priority will always be the academic side of things. So partners, especially in esports, are very important, because once again, creating that bridge from the academic side, collegiate level esports, into a professional career comes through brands like Ascend. It's the partnerships, it's the opportunities that, for example, Ascend might offer our players or our students in general. And in turn, it's the talents and the services of our players that can help grow Ascend bigger than what it already is. So once again, it's always a win-win situation. Brands especially the ones that have high credibility, are very attractive to players, are very attractive to students.
Yes.
And so having that link, making things easier for them after graduation is really what university is about. You want to graduate from university in order to find a stable and a prospering career. So if we bridge that gap and we bring it closer, then all better, so that you're already lined up with brands, with sponsors, etc., before you even graduate. So the moment you've done your academic duties, you're immediately ready to step into the real world.
Definitely. So do you believe that Ascent as in partnership or helping in Valorant, that makes sense for the university student?
I think 100%, because they tackle both sides. Again, it's the performance side and the wellness side of the game. That is very important, especially in a game like Valorant that's fairly new if you compare it to other esports titles. But
I've been hearing this game often nowadays.
It's growing insanely fast, to be honest. The appeal is so huge. When we do our own kind of internal tournaments at the university, it's Valorant and EAFC, hand in hand, always full of signups. We're talking about 60, 70 per trimester of players who want to compete in the tournament. You don't get that with other titles. So Valorant is so huge and it's getting so big so fast, and that's what's important. It's becoming so attractive, and Ascend's involvement in that is just so crucial, because our Valorant rosters, they're one of the most hardworking players we have in our team, and so for them to give them that kind of opportunity to work with professionals is invaluable, to be honest.
Great. So, like, going back to the wellness part, what do you think that's still one thing which is overlooked till now?
Sleep.
So guys have to sleep more.
Exactly. It's so underrated.
Yes.
Honestly, it's so important, and I always tell my players that no amount of caffeine, no amount of energy drink will ever replace a sleep-deprived player. Never, ever, ever. So sometimes we play tournaments at 10 o'clock in the morning during the summer. It's so tough for these players to wake up that early, but you just have to do it, and you have to kind of regulate your sleep. Even when you don't have classes or exams, etc., it's just a must, because if you don't, it starts to take a toll on you. If it doesn't within a week, it will within a month, within 3 months. You'll start to lose that focus. You start to be so susceptible to frustration. It affects your whole life, not just kind of gaming and your performance in games. So as much as we try to avoid as much as we can, or etc., or sleep is just crucial. Getting enough sleep at the right time.
At the right time.
Right? Sleeping at night.
Yes.
It will help you 12 hours later when you're on stage and ready to play.
Wow. That reminds me that I know a 19-year-old who wakes up at 4 p.m.
Wow.
Yes. So his day starts, and he's a very good Valorant player, a streamer as well. And his day starts at 4 p.m. So the whole night long he'll be playing and sleeping early morning.
Wow. I think we all pass by phases like this, to be completely honest. But from somebody who learned the hard way, it does affect you. I used to compete in the summer, where we start competing, let's say around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. And not having enough sleep means basically me waking up 30 minutes before, rushing, trying to get prepared, barely any practice, barely any warm-up. And we're talking about a game or a race at 3 p.m. So it's really self-explanatory, and the results do show, and they do reflect times where my sleep was regulated, versus where it was kind of upside down, and I'm staying up all night and sleeping all afternoon. So I think my advice to them is, again, you might not feel it now, but
later,
in time you will pay that bill.
Yes.
And so it's better to force yourself, sacrifice
yes.
Staying up late. And it will help your career in gaming and streaming as well.
100%. So, I mean, do you think that the counselor or the psychologist, they should focus on this side as well, their sleep cycle, their posture? How does the posture should be?
I think, to be honest, technology has come a long way. Gaming chairs are now, ergonomics in general, they're so advanced to kind of force you to sit straight, basically, whether you like it or you don't. We still see kind of, bad posture, etc., among gamers, but we slowly try to get that kind of awareness in them. Another thing is, what do you have on your table when you're gaming? So we started kind of almost enforcing having water right next to you at all times. And it's things like this that are so simple that are going to show when you're playing for 3 hours, 4 hours, straight continuously. So investing in ergonomics is something so important. Do not neglect it. You'll buy a nice PC, you'll buy a nice monitor, peripherals, etc., but do not neglect that gaming chair. That people say it makes you better, but it, as a joke, but it really does, because it helps you be so comfortable that you stay 3-4 hours. When I used to do sim racing, the rig is so important, because as a sim racer, sometimes you do 6-hour races, you do 12-hour races, obviously as a team, but that means you're there for 2 to 4 hours straight sitting on that chair. So having a good sim rig or a good gaming chair, if you're a PC player or a console player, is so important, and it matters, because when you're done, you don't get no back pain, you don't feel like issues, and we always encourage players to also not neglect their exercise as well. And if you have problems with your posture, etc., once you get up out of that gaming session, it's going to be so difficult for you to go and do any exercise or etc. You're going to lose flexibility, mobility over time. So it is so important. And hand in hand with sleep, I would still rank sleep higher.
Sleep higher, yes.
But these are things that are so underrated, but they make the difference.
They make the difference. And does this affect mentally also?
Practicing how to control your emotions. From my humble experience, it just comes with repetition. When you play a tournament, high stakes, elimination game, it's so easy to kind of lose your temper and get very emotional when you're new to it. But regulating your emotion is also giving you an edge when you're playing. We look at players who are so talented, but when it's time to perform, they're really nervous. Right? We look at players who are so talented, but when it's time to perform, they get very emotional. Right? And sometimes you have to train yourself to kind of keep a poker face, because it will not only affect you, it will affect your teammates, how you communicate with your teammates, with your coach. That will have a toll on it. So it's very important, but it comes with experience, it comes with repetition, it comes with playing at a high level for a long time. And so you become almost numb to the nerves and kind of to the pressure of a big game or a big match.
So do you think that universities today should include wellness structure as what we discussed, that implement as a subject for them?
100%. And I think we're doing it on the level of esports even before the level of traditional sports, kind of to prove, I guess, in a sense, that gaming is not just a hobby, it's not a waste of time. right? It's something a lot more than that. So I think wellness is as important as performance coaching for me. And as much as it might be boring for players, right? And it's not as interesting,
Yeah.
but it's things like this that really make the difference and give the edge when you see a team or a player who's been through that program, who's been through that
Yes.
kind of conditioning versus one who's kind of doing it on his own.
I mean, it has changed my mindset. Like, I am taking e-sport as well as the another sport. I think how much you do in another sports, the sleep cycle, exercise, eating habits, the energy, what you need there physically. Here also, I think it's the same thing. And yeah, parents should believe in esports now. After listening to you, I've started believing. So I want to ask you, like 5 years from now, what do you hope esports landscape will be in UAE?
100 times the size.
Okay.
The scale of it, the attention from universities, from schools, from brands. This has a future, and it's proven outside the UAE. And so there is no reason for it not to succeed in the UAE. The passion is there, the talent is there, and as we grow generation after generation, people are starting to play competitive titles at an earlier and earlier age,
Yeah.
right? We look at titles, for example, like Fortnite. We didn't start competing until we were 19, 20, 21 years old. But now people are competitive in Fortnite at 11 years old, 12 years old. So that kind of attention cannot be ignored.
So back then, your parents, did they ever stop you not to play esports or not to take this as a career?
I think definitely. And another thing also is for us, when we are teenagers, when we were young, we neglect something also that is almost as equally as important, which is recovery. Just like you play traditional sports or you're doing an exercise or a workout, you need time to recover. It's the same with gaming. It's the same with esports. Playing 7 hours a day, every single day is not healthy. It's going to cause you to burn out. It's going to cause performance issues. It's going to cause you to neglect your everyday responsibilities, whether it's academics or towards your family, etc. So recovery is something that is also important. This is also another thing that we've been trying to incorporate is even when we're in the middle of tournaments, 5-week tournaments, 6-week tournaments, we schedule a day off where we just say, guys, on this day, usually after a game day, because that's when it's the most straining on the players, we say the next day, guys, it's an off day.
Okay.
Go outside, go out with your friends, spend time with your family. Do not open the game as much as you want to, and you're really enjoying it, etc.
But don't.
Exactly, because you need that recovery time. You need time to regain that focus, regain that motivation to go again.
Yeah.
And once again, that's going to give you longevity. It's going to keep you motivated to keep playing, keep practicing for a lot longer, because it's really a shame how we see a lot of talented players who end up quitting because of burnout, because they feel like they've overworked themselves.
Correct.
And so breaks and recovery, not only just in the 20 minutes or 1 hour, etc., but in the days, sometimes is important.
So like in a 2 or 3 hours game, there are breaks nowadays, like you give them break?
Yeah, so we look at
minutes?
usually between 15 to 20 minutes, just to drink water, kind of wind down.
Yeah.
But we look at it at the bigger scale as well. Like I said, we have days off. We have the summer for us is kind of a huge opportunity for the players to take a long break. We're talking about 3 weeks or a month where they have not played the game. And it might seem negative, but it has its benefits. They come back, they're a little bit rusty, they need time to get acclimated again, but the motivation kind of gets rejuvenated in them, and they're ready to go again for another season.
All right, coming back to the rapid fire round, Mujtaba, are you ready for the rapid fire?
Let's do it.
One word answer only. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
PC or console?
Console.
Valorant or Counter-Strike?
Both.
Morning gamer or late night gamer?
Morning.
Favorite esports event?
R6 Invitational.
One quality every esports player should have.
Humility.
One game everyone should experience.
Age of Empires.
One word to describe the future of esports in UAE.
Bright.
Dream collaboration.
Ascend.
If you weren't working in esports, what would you be doing?
Events, logistics.
Great. Coming to an end, Mujtaba, I want to ask you, when someone asked about Al Mujtaba and talks about you 10 years from now, what do you hope they remember you for?
A mentor. A leader, not a boss. Someone who gave 100% of the time.
Thank you so much, Mujtaba, for sharing your journey and your vision with us today. Today's conversation reminds us that esport is no longer just about playing games. It's about education, leadership, wellness, and creating meaningful opportunities for the next generation. A big thank you to the University of Wollongong in Dubai for being part of this conversation, and from all of us at Ascend Esports. We are excited to continue building an ecosystem where talent supports communities, thrive, and players can grow both inside and outside the game. I am Shika, and this has been Raw and Real with Shika. Until next time, learning, keep growing, and remember, behind every great player is a story worth telling. Thank you.